Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're experimenting again because that's what I do best. And it's fun, right? So today I got a UV resin starter kit in the mail. And let's check it out. So I already opened it because I was super excited. And I forgot to record. So I got in this box comes this little light, UV resin light, which it looks like you could use like a regular fingernail light, like for nail polish. And that's what it is. It's got 3 settings. It looks like 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and 150 seconds. And what else comes in this kit is 2 measuring cups, and I definitely want to get these out. Sorry for the crinkling. These stir sticks, look at those. Those are so cool. So I definitely want to get those out and try those. I don't think I'm going to need the measuring cups, so I'll just leave those in the bag. It comes with some instructions. I already read them all, and it does say it does not recommend the chameleon powder, which is this, look, it's the same brand, and it says it's not recommended, but, you know, it's got to be see-through for the light to hit it. So if you cover it all with powder, you won't be able to see it. So what they recommend is doing a thin layer of the clear epoxy, let it cure, and then brush on the powder on that epoxy layer, and then add more epoxy. So that is an option. I've been letting these warm up because it is frigid out. I live in Michigan and we have snow. So these have been nice and warm now. This is just a starter kit, like I said, because I've never played with this stuff before, and I wanted to make sure it's something that that I like before I buy a big amount or more of. So it's the clear hard type, no mixing, fast curing, low odor, crystal clear, 100 grams. And it just says warm it up to reduce bubbles. Not like heat it up, you know, but just in your hands, kind of warm it up a little bit. So I'm going to put that box back in there. And yeah, we're going to need that. I'm going to set this box aside. Again, that's the Let's Resin UV Resin Starter Kit. And I got this on Amazon. Fairly inexpensive. And to go with that, Let's Resin again. I got comes with some jewels. Some earrings and hoops. It's to make jewelry. So I got all different sizes and shapes. Squares, that shape, kind of like a door. This could also be used as keychains, I guess. They don't have to be jewelry. So I got those. And I also have this set here. I have an idea that I'm going to do with these little shapes here. I'm going to make a bunch of these shapes, and I'm going to put them in another mold that I have of a crescent moon and fill it all up with all these different shapes, and then pour clear resin and see what kind of shapes I can come up with in color with this, and see what it looks like with the shapes inside of the clear epoxy. Again, I don't know how well that's going to work. It's just an idea. So, I think I'm going to try this shape. I'm going to try something with this that I seen with, because it's not very, like, alcohol color friendly. So I'm going to be melting crayons in my resin, UV resin, and mix it up and see how that goes. Again, I'm just experimenting, see what works. I'm even going to try some of the alcohol, resin inks. And that's what these look like. They're just little bottles. So it says it's right here on the side, for epoxy resin and UV resin. So we're gonna try it out and see. One sec. Sorry about that. I'm needing to get some of these hardened toothpicks to stir my wax. That's in here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, this mat came in the Let's Resin UV box. That's a little easier to see. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's get started, I guess. So there's no mixing in this. So I'm just taking the foil off the top here. Wow, they really make that hard to get off there. I think I'm just going to poke it. Yeah, I just poked a hole with my finger. And get that resin off. I meant that foil off there. Okay, so we're going to give this a try. And I'm just going to try first one of these little ones just to see how fast it cures, because I'm very curious. Okay. So I just put it on 60 seconds, and we're going to see don't know how fast this works, but we're gonna give it a try. So I hope everyone's having a great week this weekend. I meant week. I don't know why I said weekend. I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna take my little tester here. Oh wow, that's already pretty solid. That's so crazy. I'm such an impatient person, so I was interested in this UV resin because it cures fast. Who wouldn't like that? So I'm just going to let it go the whole minute. I don't know how long it needs. And after it cures, you're supposed to let it set for a minute. I'm going to do the other side real quick. I flipped it over to do the bottom just to make sure it's all the way cured. Because I was reading the instructions that it said to do that. And to use now see, I'm gonna show you what happened here. I cured it for too long and it started to crack and shrink. So just the first 60 seconds is probably good. That's all you need. Anything after that, as you can see, the bottom started to shrivel because I heated it too long. So I wouldn't leave any of these things like outside. Let's try one with color. I'm gonna do red and green for Christmas. And cure that. As it's curing, I was hoping I could stir it, but it's not letting me. So this does not heat up. Maybe I need a bigger piece. But that cures quite fast. So that's what I got for a colored heart, using crayons as color. Now, in the video that I watched, it looked like you could stir this. As it heated up, but I tried that and it just kind of popped the wax. So you don't want to do that. So I'm just kind of feeling here, see how it's still squishy inside. That wax is like preventing it from curing all the way. There's a bubble in there now. Okay. Let's throw that under the light for a second and see if it does anything. So I wouldn't recommend the wax, the crayon wax. I'm going to try the alcohol ink and see how that works. But this crayon seems to be preventing it from curing. We'll see. I'm going to give it a little longer in the light. While that's happening, let's make a star. Okay, so let's check this heart out. What did it do? It's tacky. There's a big bubble in the middle. It did harden more, leaving it under that light. But there's a big bubble in it because I squeezed it. Yeah, I mean, maybe experimenting a little bit more with the crayons might work, but I don't know, maybe on a bigger scale. I'm gonna try the alcohol inks and see how that mixes. Okay, that's getting hard. I'm just letting it sit. Here is a star. So this does cure very nicely. Oh, I didn't do the bottom. There we go. Now it's not sticky. So I'm just gonna make a bunch of these. My fingers are sticky, not the piece. So yeah, let's try a bigger piece and a flower. I have this case of flowers right here. The box is falling apart. There we go. Okay. That's beautiful. So this isn't deep enough. That's just not deep enough, guys. There we go. That's deep enough. There we go. There. Okay. There goes nothing. I'm just laying the resin on top of the flower to weigh it down. This is using a lot of resin. It's alright though. It's for a good cause. I'm just filling this up. That should be good. I'm just pushing these down. They're tending to float. I don't want them to float. I'm gonna run the light twice. Forgot I was recording. Sorry about that. I'll flip it over and try to get the underside. Like I said, I have no idea how long these are gonna take to cure. It was already pretty hard before I flipped it. It's all trial and error. I'm just experimenting, like I said. These flowers like to float though, so they're not a very good thing to use. Okay, I'm gonna put another layer on that now since it's well, there's bubbles in it, but that's okay. It kind of looks cool with the bubbles in there. Now, I don't know how big of a item you can do with this UV resin. I'll have to do some research, but it's not, you know, it's not a, what do you call it? I don't know why it's sort of bubbling right there like that. Maybe overcooked it. Why does it do that? And put that over that. I don't know why it was oozing out like that, but it was like it was curing all but that part. Still a little warm, so I'm just letting it cool down. I don't want it to be sticky. That turned out really pretty though. Yeah, it's oozing. I'm gonna put that back in there. That's not done. That's hot and oozing. Okay. So, maybe it was too big of a project for it. I'll turn my light back on. And let that sit. We will see. We will see. Well, hopefully I didn't waste all that. Let's try some alcohol ink. Put a dab of that. Dab of pink.